Hey guys, welcome back to Fruitopia. After the heat wave, I just wanted to do an update on the effects of those 43 and 44 degree days here in Melbourne during January. As you can see here, the papaya, the red army, did suffer a little heat stress on three leaves, but the ones up above are fine. So we have another 10 weeks remaining in Melbourne for temperatures above 25-30 Celsius, so there's a good chance this might flower before March, which is when things begin to cool down here. So in today's video, in the aftermath of the heat wave, I just want to show the good, the bad and the ugly, right? So it's going to be another long one, guys. That's just how it is when there's 200 trees. I don't have like 10 trees to make it 10 minutes long. I've got a lot to show, so this is for those viewers who enjoy the long videos. The rest of you, oh well, you'll just have to go click 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 with a mouse. So the bad news, well, it's going to be mixed. We're going to be going in and out of mixed and good. The rose apple, as I showed you in the video during the heat wave, was not covered. I should have covered it. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Right, the stakes were here. I had the pegs or clamps. All I had to do was just put a little sheet here, and that would have prevented this this damage here. So it's my bad, right? But the thing is, there's new growth coming. There's new growth pushing, guys. So it's not the end of the world. The plant will recover and move on and continue its journey into growing. There's no damage on the old leaves, really. It's minor. It's just that leaf there and this leaf here. So yeah, it will continue where it left off from. So that's the rose apple, which suffered a little damage. Nothing to be shaken about. The Kensington Pride mango seedling here had zero damage from the heat wave. As a matter of fact, it loved it. It pushed out a lot of fruitlets. So I decided to leave the shade cloth on the Florigon. It's just not a happy camper, and I don't like seeing the plants struggle. Right, this is a grafted mango. The good news is it's pushing here, so it's not all doom and gloom. Something's going on. So this sulking, which it's been doing forever. Look at the size of that leaf. It's been sulking forever, guys. I'm gonna give it this sun protection, probably for the remainder of summer, as long as I keep watching what's going on here. This is an indicator whether it's going forward or backwards. The potted dwarf Cavendish bananas got scorched. Of course they got scorched. I couldn't stand in that 43 Celsius sun for more than 5 seconds without getting scorched. They were in it for 10 hours or more. So considering they were in the hot sun for 10 hours on 2 days, over 2 days, that's 20 hours, I reckon they pulled through A-OK. And I barely water them. I only give them a little drink on hot days. I don't flood them. It's just a top up. I think they did fantastic. That KP mango is still sleeping in the heart of summer. Wow! So here's a great piece of work for anyone wanting to know whether mangoes prefer sun or shade. There's your answer, guys. It's right there. So now the carob, that's different. As you can see, I've shown you this before. The carob gets a lot of sun on the other side, right over that side, but this side is always in the shade, just like the mango is. And he's fine, he's doing great. What else? The citrus, the lemonade here is pulled through with a lot of watering I did, but he still has a long way to go to get that green look. Still got that yellow sulk, that yellow. I know he needs nitrogen. He's screaming for nitrogen, right? To get this this yellow look gone. But as I said, compost and seaweed fertilizer is all I feed the trees. This lemon here is turned green. That's nice to see. So they are pushing and growing without synthetic chemicals, guys. It is working. It's not perfect, but it's working. So what I'm doing with the mulch, chop and drop, seems to be adequate. It's just a much slower way of doing things. Here's the other red army. He's growing nicely, slowly, but there is activity in there, as you can see. It's just slow motion, guys. It's not like Miami or Townsville where everything happens overnight. Not here. Not here. By the way, we went from 43 Celsius down to 21 within a few hours. And we're sitting at around 20, 21 for a couple of days before the temperatures go back to the mid-20s. Yeah, guys. Of course it's going to be slow motion. The persimmons are coming along fine. What else? R2E2 mango. He's doing great, as you saw already. During the heat wave, he's pushing growth on this side and he's pushing growth on that side, on both sides. And down here, right, he wants to flower again. He's trying to push out flowers, right? And we're not going to allow that. Oh, by the way, I removed the shade cloth from all the trees that I had covered during the heat wave. I think they are better off getting sun, especially when it's only 20, 25. The only cover I left on was the Florigon, which I just showed you, the Florigon mango. And who else? There was one other tree. Oh yeah, the avocados, which you'll see soon. This is the other seedling, KP. I took the cover off him too. He was pretty thankful for being covered. He had zero heat damage, zero. So yeah, the shade cloths really work, guys. They really do. Look, maybe I've overwatered him a little. By the way, later on I'm going to show you another tree which seems to be suffering from overwatering. My bad. Because the thing is, guys, with water, it's hard to judge. They say stick your fingers in for 1 or 2 inches from the top to see if it's wet. But the thing is, that should not matter in January or July for our friends in the northern hemisphere, because in the heart of winter you would think that the soil, no matter how much you water it, dries out, right? If the drainage is sufficient. Let's see, I watered this a couple of days ago, and I always try to remove the mulch away from the bottom. We don't want a wet trunk, but it's going to happen because of the birds. The birds, guys, the birds are in charge here, not me. Doesn't matter how much I pull the mulch out, it goes back in after a few hours because the birds are back doing their thing, right? So yeah, it's hard to judge when to water again, because you don't want to let them dry out Okay, let me stick my finger in here. Yeah, it's wet. Of course it's wet. I just watered it. Like I said 2 days ago, I flooded it. So, yeah, of course it's going to be wet. It's not going to be dry. I'm not going to let the mangoes go dry in the heart of summer when it's 43 Celsius. So, yeah, it's a little hard to judge why the leaves are sulking. It's definitely not from being too dry. I'm always keeping them wet. The other rule with mangoes is they say let the soil completely dry 2 inches down before re-watering. We've tried that, guys. We've done that. We're following that rule as close as we can. But again, every tree has a different rule, right? There's general rules and there's tree specific rules. And sometimes we skip one rule and forget the other rule. So, and if you say, oh, stuff it, I'll just let nature do it. You can't do that when it's 43 degrees. The tree will die if you just leave it unwatered for a whole week under those conditions. Okay, Babako is a champion. I really didn't expect the Babako to pull through uncovered, unwatered, uncared for with 43 Celsius. No sun damage at all. With 10 hours in full sun. Go figure. Go figure, guys. What's going on? Less damage than papaya. Very impressed. Yeah, okay, so the Quesar and the Alfonso, I cut off the dead dieback on the Alfonso after the heat wave. Remember the stick that was above it, the main leader? Hang on. I cut it off. There it is there. It was black coming out of winter. I waited till a few days ago to cut it off. That one there. Yeah, I cut it off. So that's gone on a slant there. And as you can see, it's really happy. Pushing a lot of new growth. Best time to snip off all the dieback is when you see pop when the tree's popping. It's popping even underneath, under there. So Alfonso probably doing the best out of all the mangoes, the young mangoes. The Quesar is still not pushing anything so far this summer. It did do a push in early spring. That's how we got all these new leaves here. But it hasn't done anything now for 3 months. Whereas that one there didn't do anything in spring. And it's doing its push now in summer, right? So that one pushed in summer, this one pushed in spring. Out of my hands, guys. Not under my control. And I flooded both of those before and after the heat wave. Like full-on flooding. Let's see. I'm always trying to keep the mulch back, but again, the birds have the last say. They say to bring it back 12 inches. Come on, I can't do that. Otherwise, you know, can't do that, guys. I can't go by the book. The book says things that are not realistic in many cases. The book. Ideal situation, in the ideal growing world. Hang on, let me try to get the soil here. Yeah, it's wet. It's wet. So we're not going to water these guys for at least another, probably not till the next weekend. So 5 days. 5 days without any watering. So they get to dry out. The same with him. Right? Because they're pretty droopy. We don't want to stuff it up on something like watering. Now this is the achacha. Hang on. He's doing okay. I flooded him a couple of days ago too, soon after the heat wave was over. He gets one flooding per week during the height of summer. And his shade cloth will stay on until the 1st of April. I'm not going to take any chances with this grafted achacha. It was over $100. I flooded the bacon and shepherd avocados. As you can see, it's windy today. I flooded both of these trees before and after the heat wave. They were thankful. As you can see, there's no drooping at all. The house avocado in the back is giving me a big problem. It's drooping like this, and I'm fearful I might lose the tree. I hope I won't. But look how perky the bacon is, and look how perky the shepherd is. But I wanted to show you something else. I wanted to show you the damage of the sun from the heat wave. Look, see that? That's new growth that was exposed to the 43 Celsius sun and got burnt. But it doesn't matter. I was going to cut this off, cut it off right there, because that's in my way when I walk past here. This is my pathway. So I was going to cut this anyway. Wow, it's windy. Pretty windy, huh? So we have wind issues as well, guys. It's not just heat or drought. So yeah, this branch is going to go, the one that's burnt. And this one got stress as well, the bacon. Look. Look, guys. The bacon. Avocado. Look. Yeah, 43. But again, this is all superficial. It doesn't really matter, because 99% of the tree, 99% was unaffected. And look, we've got some fruitlets up there. I see one fruitlet is looking pretty messed up. That one there, see how it's burnt? The one on the left, it's got a black spot on it. I'm guessing the black spot is sun damage. Yeah, the one on the left, not the one on the right. Yeah, so I don't know how I'm gonna get those bacon avocados. That's that's 3.5 meters, over 10 feet high. Looks like it's gonna be possum food next year, this coming spring. Well, no, they're ready in winter actually. The bacon is a winter variety. All right. Oh, hang on. I removed the shade cloth from the new mangoes that I planted in November. Right, no damage at all from the heat. This is the cotton candy. No damage at all. Zilch. It did push out this head in December at the top. Now we're waiting for the second flush. It's on standby there in the middle. Oh, by the way, we got a few drops of rain the day after the heat wave. Just a few trickles, 0.6 millimeters. So we're talking a handful of rain. This mango here just did a flush recently, a day or two before the heat wave, during the heat wave, and a day after the heat wave. So in the build-up towards the big heat, it pushed down here at the bottom, and it pushed three new branches at the top, and it's still showing a new one coming there. So this is the, okay, hang on, which one is this? The carabao, the grafted carabao, Manila mango. So that's a good sign. Very, very tiny tree, guys. Yeah, very, very tiny. So it's gonna take at least 3 more years for this one and that one to hold the first fruit. But we have to get through winter 26, winter 27 before we get to harvest the first fruit in autumn 28. Yeah, it's a long time. We're not going to have any fruit from these guys until March, April, May 2028. because the trees were sent tiny, right? Like below my knee. Below my knee. All right. Mamey sapote. It's in the shade now, but this got this just came out of 9 hours of direct sun. Yeah, it's by the way, it's the end of the day. It's 5 p.m. So after 9 hours of sun, that also had the shade cloth removed, and it pulled through like a champion through the 40+ degree days. The main problem I have is the bugs chewing the leaves. I've talked about this before. The main problem with the mamey are the earwigs, or whoever is eating worms, caterpillars, I don't know who. Right, look, that's the main problem I'm having with mamey. Other than that, it's doing pretty good actually. I'm pretty wrapped. This plum, the Coe's Golden Drop, isn't looking good. It's had this white leaf for the last 3 months. I don't know what's causing it. I googled it, but there was a lot of conflicting what do you call it, information. Someone told me, why don't you use Google instead of asking us what's wrong? Hey guys, whenever I use Google, I get a lot of conflicting answers, and they contradict each other. So Google is okay-ish, but it's too confusing when you get too many answers of what it could be. So in the case of this white or silver leaf, it's one of two things, and I can't remember what that was. I read it about a month ago. Anyway, don't tell Kim, but I'm going to be removing this plum tree. That's the long-term plan, so these two mangoes can have their own space. Shh, don't tell her. So it doesn't matter that it's doing that. I'll just tell her that the tree died from whatever problem it's going through. Oh, gee, I'm naughty, aren't I? Yeah, that's one of her favourite plums, but she has the green gauge there. That's a monster size tree, and all these new dwarf plums I planted for her, right? So it's not like I'm not the bad guy, guys. I planted this dwarf plum, and I planted where is it, this dwarf plum, and the fruit will be ready soon. There's the green gauge over there. I made a mistake, sorry. That one, that's very healthy and very far away from these mangoes. Okay, the sapote is doing good. By the way, it perked up a little from the heat wave and the deep watering I gave it a few days ago. I don't water this very much. I've got a lot of information about sapodilla not liking too much water. Oh boy, is this a fussy gangster! But he's climbing. He's coming up above the stakes. The other one I have at the back is not doing well at all. There's a chance I might lose it, and I don't know why. I'm gonna be happy if I get one sapodilla to survive and fruit for me. That'll be happy enough. I had 5 and 3 of them died, and I've got 2 left, and one of them is dying. Yeah, guys, sapodilla is not your best friend in Melbourne, nor is this canistel, but it's slowly pushing new growth for the first time ever. Look, right, these new leaves in the middle, these are the last year's leaves from 2025. These are going to drop away. Hang on, these are going to drop away, and these new ones will take over. And it's trying to do something down here, yeah, at the bottom, and that got cinched, burnt. That little guy there got burnt. Wow, from the heat wave. Yeah, but he'll be fine. What else? That white Indian guava has not come back yet. It's still dormant. I don't know. Looks like I've got a new spot for a new tree there. If that dies, I'm going to plant another tree there. It's either going to be a custard apple or another mango, because that's a huge area it's taking. Okay, the Jala avocado is doing pretty good. Slow, but doing okay. I'm leaving the shade cloth on it until the end of March. I might have to go a bit higher because it's almost touching. See how it does. Yeah, but I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, without this shade cloth, the tree would have died with that heat wave. 100% would not have survived. So you need the shade cloth, guys. You need the shade cloth for tender young ones like that. The mango back here, he pulled through with a shade cloth. He didn't really need it because he's getting a lot of shade from these bananas right next to him. Right, a lot of shade, a lot. This mango, it's in the shade now. I'm waiting for him to push new growth. There's no signs of any flushing coming. I just pulled off his flowers over the last couple of weeks. Yep, that's the hang on, what's his name? Tommy Atkins. Sophia Cherry Moya. She's doing okay. She's getting a lot of shade as well from the overhead bananas and the shepherd avocado. And I didn't show you the Dr. White Cherry Moya. By the way, if you remove the tips, see the tips from the Cherry Moya and the Ate Moya, there's a chance you'll get another flush of flowers. There's a chance, right? I removed all of them, all the tips on the Cherry Moya. There's nothing happening with the dragon fruit at the back. It looks like I might have to remove all those branches at the top. Can anyone give me some advice, please? Should I remove all those new branches that came over spring? It looks to me I'm not going to get any flowers with all those guys waving their arms up there. What do you guys think? And I need to do this ASAP as the fruiting season. The dragon fruit fruiting season begins now in January. Yeah. Also, this Cherry Moya has done well, and I've removed all the tips from him too. Right? Yeah, it was just a tip that I forgot for myself. I made a video about that a few years ago. There seems to be fruitlets possibly on the Dr. White Cherry Moya. Possibly. Maybe. Not sure. Oh gee, a lot of rev heads are out this afternoon. There's a lot of rev heads, guys. Sorry for the noise. Yeah, but fruitlets on a Cherry Moya. This one I've had for 4 years. Yeah, about 4 years. There's about 10 fruitlets potentially making it through. There's some more heat wave damage. Yeah, guys. Yeah. For real. I watered the heck out of this. There's still a lot of flowers I could hand pollinate, but I'm not going to. I don't feel like doing that. A lot of opportunity. A lot of opportunity for hand pollinating the white. There's some more damage from the sun. Right? 43 Celsius, you heard right. Go back and watch the video. I sweated like a sif making that video that day for you. We're waiting for our first Pacific plantain bananas to come on these. These have been here for almost 5 years. These bad boys. Right? Pacific plantain. This is the first one here. We've got our French figs, the Bordeaux. I can't remember the names, guys. I lost the labels. Bordeaux, this is really delicious. And this one is delicious too. They both got French names. And I don't remember which one is which. Okay. What else? Mexican cream. Love the heat. Pushed out all these flower buds. Thank you very much. Different reactions from different plants. This unknown variety of fig. Also went to town with figs. This is a volunteer that came from heaven. I don't know where it came from. It just came from somewhere. So I put it in a pot. Thank you very much. The white sapote here, the Wilson. The Seedling novelty tree. I got a brain fart right now. He's pushing a lot of new growth. I've been watering the heck out of him. The heck out of him. And you can see it. You can see that I've been watering him. The Wampy. Yeah. So he's getting ready to set hundreds of fruit on these flower heads. Right? We always get a whole bunch. But remember, this is just a novelty. It's not a big deal. But it's nice to have these novelty trees. It's just like the peanut butter fruit, which is just one work here. I've given up on the peanut butter fruit. I've given up, guys. They prefer Wollongong and higher to survive outdoors in the ground. In the greenhouse, we don't talk about that because that's not the same. In the greenhouse, you can probably grow durian, but we're not doing greenhouses, guys. We're talking about in-ground plants, peanut butter, and the blueberry jam or blackberry jam fruit tree. Those won't work here. Planted outdoors in the ground in Melbourne. I've been trying for 10 years. You can try though to grow it in a greenhouse and then bring it out once it's established. That's a good idea, but again, I can't do that because in winter, when they need love and attention, I'm sometimes away. Yes, I can't do that, guys. I can't pamper these sooks in winter. So we only do trees that survive on their own outdoors in the ground, unattended. I picked up black sapote earlier today off this tree, directly into my belly. It went delicious, fresh from the tree. I should have waited till this video to do it, but it was too tempting. So we still have around 30. Oops, I see one around the other side. We might be able to do it. The lettuce got scorched, and all this new lettuce coming. The seeds, these are seeds. Pretty hectic. Last night I planted some pumpkins. They might be too late for the season. The butternut. We'll see how those do. And look at the silver beet. How it got fried. Would you like fried silver beet? Huh? Some fried silver beet. Yeah. And these were watered every day. Every day. And the onions, look how they collapsed. Yeah, guys. Okay, back to the black sapote. I think we have one that might be ready. Let's see. I can tell by the color. Where were you? Are you the one? No. Are you the one? No. Huh, I thought I saw one. From a different angle. Okay, let me have an... Oh, here it is. Oh, you're ready. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, look at that. He's ready, all right. Oh, good. We can eat a black sapote. It's not 100% ready. It's more like 90%. But you can still eat them at 90%. Here we go. I could have made a separate video, but what the hell? What the hell, guys? So anyone watching this for the long haul is going to be rewarded. There you go. So what's the consistency like? Looks like caramel, fudge, and what's the other one called? Hang on. Tiramisu. Yeah, so let's get stuck into this. And what's the weather today? For people that say, oh, you got to move to Queensland. You got to move to Queensland. You got to move to Queensland. Yeah, really. 20 Celsius in the middle of summer. 20, not 40, not 30. Yeah, guys. So we're doing just fine with our 20 Celsius. Enjoying chocolate pudding fruit from our own Melbourne grown tree. Hang on. Yum. There's seeds in the middle. Yum. Skin and all. Okay, let's move on. Had an interruption. Yeah, the lemon gold, I need to prune this again. This needs multiple, the lemon gold white sapote. It needs multiple prunes through the year. So this branch is going to go chop and drop, guys. So like that. This one like that. I'm going to come back and clean it up. I don't just leave it. These are ugly cuts. So this one, right, this one is just too vigorous. The white sapote, check there's any fruit on it though before you cut. Look how ugly I cut it. This is definitely not how to prune. But I'm gonna come back after the video and clean up. I'm just showing you guys how vigorous it is and how important it is to this one you don't cut off, because look, you got to check. Just vigorous with growth, vigorous with fruit. It's just full on, and the scale is still there. After 5 treatments I gave up, but guess what, even after 5 treatments the fruit are still growing, the tree is still pushing new growth. Hang on, up there, look at that. The scale is not stopping the tree from pushing. So that means this tree is a freak. It needs a lot of what do you call it, a lot of sap sucking bugs to jump on it and just drain it for it to feel anything. It's just not a normal attack. It needs a vicious attack, and it seems to be coping fine with this particular attack that it got back in November. It's doing just fine. What else? Yeah, get that off. See, I'll pick those up later. And all these yellow leaves. Yeah, so I haven't done any fruit fly bait stations yet this season. I saw the first fruit fly 2 days ago on the apricots in the back. That was a little concerning. So they've arrived with the apricots. The new apricot tree I put in the back. All right, let's get back to doing this video. There's a lot of white sapote falling. These are undeveloped, that the tree is naturally thinning itself out. I don't bother with those. This is the Hawaiian Supreme. This is the first cab off the rank, together with the Subel. But there's a lot more Hawaiian Supreme than Subel this year. The Hawaiian Supreme has gone nutso. Crazy. So much fruit. Yeah, okay, so there's that Indian white guava again. It's still green, but not moving, man. It's just not moving. Fully alive. 3 months without a leaf. So it looks like I don't know. I really don't know why it's not growing. Paxton prolific. Pretty much the same, just slowly pushing out new growth and flowers. The other KP, that seemed to have done well with the heat wave. The yellow wing leaves aren't so much of a problem really, but It's getting a lot of this on the back of the leaves. I don't know what that is. A lot of the old leaves are getting that, right? On the back, I don't know what that is an indication of. Yeah, they're pretty haggard. Very haggard looking leaves from last season. Maybe they're the old leaves, I don't know. The new leaves look a lot better. And we're getting a lot of fruitlets up there. On the KP, this is 6 years old. The oldest KP seedling I have. Looks like we might easily get a dozen fruit. We'll see how it goes, right? And it's pushing out new growth on this flush here. A flush of new growth. That's a great sign. Okay, and the leaves are perky. All right, so what else? We're done with these apricots. We're harvesting a few white Chateau mulberries. Not much, just a little. I think we're done in the front. The African Pride custard apple is doing great. Slow but healthy. Super healthy looking. Very green. This one gets a lot of shade because of this darn mulberry. What's it called again? Keep forgetting his name. He's gonna need his third trim for the season by the end of January because he climbs really high up. So this is my chop and drop. All the mulberries are chop and drop. Yeah, I go around and rip these branches off too by hand. With these, it doesn't matter if they're ugly cuts, guys. This tree here, like a few others, they're what do you call them? They're commandos. They're like commandos. They're extremely hard to kill. There you go, the first berries are coming. But we hardly ever get a chance to eat them unless I net the tree. All right. So we've done all this. The lychee here, the little chompogo, did okay with the heat wave because he gets protected by all his big brothers, right? Even from back there. He gets some sun at the end of the day, 5:30 now. At the very end of the day, he gets a bit of sun. So otherwise, he's pretty much shaded. Oh, I forgot to show you the lychee that got torched during the heat wave. That was my bad. I should have covered it on top, and I did that. Too late though. Look at that. That's probably the worst damage of any tree here at Fruitopia. Can you believe that? And I had the tree completely wrapped, but not at the top. I forgot to do the top. I didn't expect it to suffer because it did so well otherwise. So now we've lost a few months. That's at least 2 or 3 months worth of damage. Yeah. All right, so I think we're done. By the way, the citrus loves heat waves. Look at that. On the blood orange. Look. White sapote, citrus, mangoes, guava, persimmon, pomegranate, carob, fig, mulberry. That can take 43 degrees every day, man. Every day. Every day. As long as I water them because they're in pots. The pomegranates will not survive. Not with 43. They won't survive with 23 if I don't water them. Because their roots can't reach for water. They're restricted. So I have to water these pomegranates. And this one here has set a lot of fruit. A lot, at least 20. I don't know if they're all going to hang on. I can't remember which variety this one is because I lost the label. Right? But it's got a lot of fruit. A lot of fruit. Look. It's doing so much better than the Ben-Hur and the Elsh, which have been in the ground for 12 years. This sucker here is doing a lot better. This one here has not set any fruit. it dropped them. It dropped all the flowers. Yeah, but we got our neighbors. Remember, guys, there's always the neighbors are wonderful, which has plenty enough pomegranates for us. Plenty. Right? And this loves 43. They love 43 Celsius. All right, let's go and check out the back. I don't think I skipped anything. Oh, this custard apple is doing great too, the Hillary White. That was in full sun through the heat wave, as you can see. Pulled through like a champion. I flooded it though 3 times. The day before the heat wave, on the heat wave, and the day after the heat wave. It got 3 drenchings over 3 days. Yeah, guys, that's the only way. The same with the jabuticaba here. Forget about skipping. You can't skip it. You can't skip watering these in summer. Okay, a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of water, a lot of effort, a lot of cost. It's a lot of everything. And that's why most people fail, because they're not prepared to invest their time. Back to the Glen Mango. The thing is, if you're in Queensland in the wet tropics, where it's always raining and always steamy and always hot and always perfect for mangoes, then you can go and do other things. You can go fishing, you can go for a holiday to Bali, you can go and play with the grandkids at the park, you can have a million things to do, and your garden will be perfectly fine without ya, because nature is doing everything for ya, right? Not here. Not here. Nature's not doing anything for us here, except giving us a heat wave every month. 1 heat wave a month. We had one in December, we had one in January, we'll get one more in February, and then that's it, it's over. It's all over Red Rover. And then the frost cloths come on. Frost cloths at the end of April. So there's a lot of work here. There's no frost cloths in cans or watering with a garden hose. Jackfruit here, the seedling. That's doing really, really, really well. Almost all the old leaves from 2025 have fallen, almost. Right, they're the old ones. The old leaves. There's about a dozen left. And once these last ones fall off, then we're with the 2026 leaves. The new ones. Again, very, very slow. It's like watching a snail crawl from here to there. Sitting there and watching it. That's how slow these guys grow. These are jackfruit and mangoes. Yeah, guys. But we're doing it. We are putting in the time, the effort, and whatever else is needed to get this to work. At least we're going to give it our best shot, and then it's like, oh, well, we did our best. Can't do any better than that. All right, this is the wax jambu. Still not, the flowers still haven't opened, but they're ready to open any minute. Literally any second. Look. See that? See how they're ready to split open? Yeah, so the flowers haven't even opened yet. And it's middle of January. Right in the smack center of summer. It's pushing new growth. They got burnt. Right? I showed you this already. So that was the after effect of the heat wave. Overall, it pulled through just fine. And I also removed some cuttings here from the bottom, some branches, and fed them to the tree. Because they were laying low, touching the ground. All right, in the back now, we've got the tropical magnolia, which loves heat, but it also loves a lot of water when it's in a pot. Right? Looking spectacular. But this is in the shade. Look what happens to this tree when you put it in full sun on a 43-degree day. You ready, guys? Are you ready? This is what happens to it in full sun. The same tree. Oh my. Oh my. The same tree. And this happens every year when I don't move it from there to here, out of the sun. Just 2 hours. The last two, right now at this time of the day, between 4 and 6 p.m. That's when it gets baked. It's back in the sun now because it's only 20 Celsius. 20 Celsius is not going to hurt it. Nor does 30. Nor does 34. But once the temperature hits 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, everything burns, including the flower buds. So that's the story with the, what's its name? I keep forgetting its darn name. Yeah, so, that got torched. The bananas here, by the way, I didn't water anything here in the banana circle. All these bananas here are unwatered. No hand watering, no irrigation, no sprinkler, no rain for 6 weeks. This is 6 weeks of no water, no rain for all these leafy green bananas. And the reason they survived, guys, is because of all the mulch. Chop and drop. Chop and drop. You can see the ginger was affected. See the ginger? The ginger. Yeah, but the ginger is here only as an ornamental plant. It's not there to feed me. So, and I still haven't removed all these suckers from the bay leaf. Look how tall they've gotten. I haven't had time, guys, to remove the suckers. Look. They're like almost up to my chest. I've got to do this every year, removing the suckers from this 25-year-old bay leaf tree. Oh my God. At least 7 meters. Yeah. That was a big mistake to plant this tree. Oh man. Some people ask me, can you grow a bay leaf in Melbourne? Can you grow it? I get the chainsaw out every year to prune it. It's a beast. Yeah. And it's also caused damage with my, what do you call it? Stormwater. Anyway, here's some more damage on the banana, the potted banana. The red Dakar. What else? Oh yeah. There's some yellow leaves there on the bananas. I chopped those off, but I didn't clean those up. So yeah, that pulled through pretty good, considering it didn't get any water. The nasturtiums dried out. Look, this is an invasive weed, but not when it's 43. When it's 43 degrees, the invasive weeds say, I can't take it anymore. These guys love heat. The bougainvillea. But in the pot, they need to be watered. Just because they're heat wave tolerant, you still have to water them in pots. Yeah. And we sure do that. Except on days like today when it's 20. You don't have to water them. All right. The coffee copped it, but not as bad as otherwise it could have had. It's got all this new growth coming. Again, this is an ornamental or a novelty tree. I don't grow it for the beans, guys. These are just for fun, right? It gets a lot of beans, coffee beans, a lot. But that's not my interest. My interest is just to collect trees. Okay, so the jabuticaba, the giant, and 2 grimmels pulled through fine, especially that one. Look at all the new growth. This got 10 hours, gets. It gets 10 hours of direct sun every day when it's sunny. Look. So anyone growing jabuticaba in Melbourne or Adelaide, Here's your answer. If they can take direct sun up to 45 Celsius. They sure can, but there's one caveat. They need to be watered every day, before, during, and after that heat wave. All of them, not just this one. Him, and the others I have. The only exception might be the old one I have, the Sabara. Although I did water that before and after the heat wave, not during. The Jujubi, what do you call it? The Shangshi Li and the Li, no problem. They can take 45, piece of cake. They've already set their first fruitlets. There they are. The thing is, I get worms in these if I don't net the tree. The fruit fly worm. Maggots. The maggots get inside these fruitlets. So I gotta net this monster somehow. There you are. I gotta net it ASAP, like before. Oh, here's a broken branch. Before the end of January, because in February it gets attacked by fruit fly. And it's over 4 meters tall. I might have to decapitate the top so I can get the net on. The same with the Chico. Chico is the other variety. It came to me. One of you helped me. Thank you for helping. The new mango. Back to the new mangoes. They pulled through just fine with this 30% shade cloth. So in future, I will be sticking to the 30% shade cloth for mangoes. I don't know about avocados though. I think the avocados need 50%. The young avocados. So as you can see, this has done great. The what's this? Chokanan. From memory, I can't read the label. It's all faded. Chokanan. Chokanan has been, man, so happy. The super dwarf Nathan banana, that got torched last year in the heat wave, but this year it didn't. Maybe because I had a larger pot and mulch from my neighbor. Remember my neighbor gave me all this mulch? That sure made a difference on him. Little things, guys. The small stuff. I decided to take off the shade cloth on this mango, but not those two. These two mangoes here, the Chokanan and the oh man, Dasheri. I'm going to leave the shade cloth on these two. But this one, the orange sherbet, I took it off. And I will put it back on if the temperature goes over 36. And you can see how it's done really well. And the other orange sherbet I'm going to show you soon has done. Oops, I nearly fell over. And I nearly fell over onto this. My butt. Oh my god. I nearly fell on that. Can you believe it? I nearly fell backwards. Yeah, both orange sherbets are done really well. The apricot's doing okay. Not looking the best. Remember, this was planted in spring. I had it in the pot for a year. It got some damage. Of course it did. But zero damage on the prickly pear, needless to say. The pineapple sage bounced back with a bit of water. Always does. Yeah, so the cucumbers have to be helped along, right? And they're needing a lot of fertilizer, so I might have to give them some more seaweed because they're still yellow after the heat wave. Yeah. What else? Where are you going? You went into the neighboring plant. Okay. Oh, this Avocado got heat stress. Wow, and this is in the ground. Wow, this is in the ground, and it got stressed. Whereas the ones in the front driveway, which are also in the ground, but not the same exact ground, they didn't get affected at all by the heat. Interesting. All right, and this Avocado has been here for over 10 years. This is where I got all the cuttings from, by the way, for those 30 cuttings from this one plant. Yeah, so they're all doing fine without any water. Bananas without water. No water for 6 weeks. And they're doing fine. I watered this one though. I watered him. I watered this Vietnamese mint. And of course I've watered the... anything in pots got watered. Of course they did. But not the bananas in the ground. All right, let's go. Oh, I think I've got a prick in my butt. Oh, I can't believe it. I can feel it. Oh, it's not coming out. I cleared this mess back here. The philodendron. This philodendron that's growing under and around the Ortiga. The Ortiga white sapote. I had to prune hard. There you go. See all those prunes? Prunings. Prunings. There's the Ortiga fruit hanging everywhere. A lot of fruit on the Ortiga. I don't even eat these. I just let these go to the animals and fall. I don't eat the Ortiga. Not that it's a bad taste. It's just I don't need it, guys. I don't need this tree. But I'm not going to pull it out after 10 years, 11 years. So I just let it do its thing back here and prune it. Just keep it pruned. This Preston fig hasn't ever done anything. It's been here for over 10 years, maybe 12 years, and hasn't done much. So I was thinking of removing it. This is the corner of the property, by the way. I was thinking of removing this, and it's behind the bungalow. We're at the back end. I was thinking of removing this fig and putting another mango here. Right? Not sure. Anyway, here is the white jabuticaba, also known as the Oriana. Yeah, the Oriana. This one suffered a lot. Not during the heat wave, but suffered ever since I put it in the ground here. There's all the philodendron cuttings, the leaves, and sticks here in the front, so the birds don't throw out the mulch. Right? It just hasn't been happy in the ground. I should remove that lower branch from the tree. It doesn't need that lower branch. That's a waste. See that second branch coming out from the bottom? And this one too. Oh, that just snapped off. Yeah, I just noticed that. I should cut that off. Yeah, don't need it. What was I going to say? Yeah, it hasn't done well since I put it in the ground, but it's been struggling to push new growth since December. And every time it gets this new growth, the new leaves dry out. So in other words, what this is telling me is the soil dries out here a lot, because it's the property going down on a slant out to the street. So I'm trying to find a way to contain the moisture here with wood chips. I'm going to get another bag of wood chips soon and lay it over here. I'm doing my best to keep the moisture up here on this Oriana. It just hasn't been a happy camper since I put it in the ground, as I keep saying. All right, so it's trying though. It's trying its best, and I'm trying my best, guys. Another issue is the invasive geranium that I keep pruning with my hand every couple of weeks, because it's pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And there's all the cuttings that I cut off by hand. See them in there? Yeah. Kim wants this here as ornamental. It looks pretty in all this mess. But yeah, very invasive and potential hazard for the Oriana. Okay, let's go this way. My compost bins that I haven't used in 10 years. Right. This is where I used to have my compost. Don't use it much anymore. So I cleared this philodendron area. As I said, got rid of about 30 leaves. These leaves here that were touching the ground, literally sitting on the ground like that. And fed them to the bananas here. This is the Pisang Ceylon. So he got a whole heap of philodendron leaves, and so did the Oriana over there. Right? Yeah. Okay, so what else? There's another philodendron there. They look pretty nice. Some of you might tell me to remove them. They're the new leaves that are coming. They get these flowers, which look pretty fancy. And right next to it I have a fig. You know that fig I showed you in the front, in the pot, the volunteer? This is the mother plant. From this mother, I got 5 cuttings and put them in pots, and they're all doing great. It resembles a mission fig, I'm not too sure. Yeah, so we fed the bananas here with all the mulch and leaves. That was a lot of work. I did that yesterday. And we fed these bananas too. So now we have the bananas here, the Oriana in that corner, that fig that I might replace with a mango or something. The Ortiga, white sapote there. The fig, that's been there almost 10 years now. And for the first time this year, it's grown over the fence in height. This was a super dwarf for the last decade. So I might remove that central leader in the middle. That seems to want to go up high, but I might leave it. I don't know. We'll see. And that's loaded with fruit. That needs a net. And here in the middle of all that action is the new mango that I planted at the beginning of November. It's doing fantastic, guys. I'm really super pleased with the new mangoes I planted from Heidi, from the cottage. It's called the cottage. It's cottage tree, fruit tree nursery in Sunshine Coast. Yeah, guys, have a look. Look how great it's doing. Pushing all this new flush just before the heat wave. All this happened, by the way, a week ago. The last days of December, the first days of January, just after between Boxing Day and the heat wave, all the mangoes pushed strongly. So again, I put all this mulch down. I'm going to put another bag on each tree at the end of January, so another 10 bags of mulch from Bunnings to suppress all these weeds that I keep pulling by hand. I'm out here almost every day doing this, guys. 20 mango trees. Doing this on my, what do you call it? Squatting like a Thai, like a Vietnamese farmer. Yeah. So I don't need to go to the gym. I do enough squats out here. There you go. So, oh, and this was who are you? Lemon meringue, yeah. I keep forgetting the names because they're still babies. What else? I have to prune this lemonade. Look at the terrible... look at that, guys. Look at that. Really bad. I keep forgetting its name. The citrus gets. The lemon tree. This is the Lisbon. I got to prune it in the middle here. It's gone wild. And I've got the possums eating the skins of the lemons. So a lot of work. All right. I hand pruned this plum, which I chainsawed last March, right? So what I do is I just go like that and like that. And it doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter that this happens. That doesn't matter. Because this is a beast. This tree is a beast. You won't get a disease, trust me. It doesn't need fine tuning. The same with these cherries. They're getting that slug now that comes every January. A slug that eats the leaves. That guy there. And I don't care. Let him do his thing. Because I prune this anyway. At the end of autumn, it gets a hard prune. So does this cherry. I'm not going to spray. All right, back to the young'uns. It's the end of the day, so the sun now is on its last legs. What is it? 6. So we have about an hour or 2 of sun left, right? And it's below the bungalow, the sun. Below the bungalow. So there's no more sun for these guys. But there is for the orange sherbet over there that I showed you earlier. That's still in the sun at 6 p.m. Hang on, let me zoom in. Watch. There he is in the sun. That's mint at the back there, the mint in a pot. Yeah, they're still in the sun at 6 p.m. And so are those mangoes. Hang on. The ones we just looked at. The chokanan. Not the dasheri. The dasheri is in the shade. Alright, so this is... I have to look at the label again. Which is the... Scarlet. Grafted. Is that grafted? No, seedling. Seedling scarlet. Jabuticaba. So you got multiple issues. You got heat, and you got caterpillars and bugs and spiders and all kinds of nasty things if you don't spray. If you don't go over every leaf and check and spray and pamper, and I'm not doing that, guys. Again, I keep repeating myself. We're doing everything organically and naturally. What else? Yep. It's got 3 pushing out there. 3 branches. I might remove the left one and the right one and just leave this main central leader. We'll see. Let him get his roots established first. In the first year, then I'll deal with that. Here's suckers coming from the plum tree. See these suckers? These suckers are coming from the roots. The roots which are growing nearby this fella. Him. That's why he's a beast. Nothing can kill him except if I poison him, right? That's the only thing. Not me breaking off branches like that. That's not going to kill him or make him sick. He's an animal. He's an animal. Yeah, so there is a potential problem here with the root system of the plum and the cherry there. But it hasn't affected that black sapote. That black sapote has been in the ground now for over 2 years and is thriving. This guy, right next to the cherry, which has been there for 15 years. 15 years that tree's been there. And so far the black sapote hasn't felt a thing. Right? So you can grow fussy trees like this one successfully right next to these guys, which is not recommended by most experts. So we have the evidence here. Once this black sapote is established at the 10-year mark, it's halfway there, then we're all good. We're all good. So eventually the same will happen with this grumichamma, right, in its 2nd year in the ground. Look, 2nd year in the ground. Yeah, it got heat damage. It got some damage. It got some damage. Of course it did. It's all right. My main problem are these weeds. These weeds are the problem for me. Right? Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it. The weeds. My lawnmower, oops. My lawnmower, the rope, you know the rope you pull? The rope broke after 10 years or more. So I got no lawnmower, and the lawn mowing shop is on holidays. So I've only got a whippersnipper until the lawnmower shop reopens to replace the rope, the cord, whatever it's called, the string. Okay, so here is the Taiwan Golden Queen. And even without waiting more than 3 months that I've had this, actually it's in its third month now, I really think this is a good one for Melbourne. Just what's the word I'm looking for? Intuition. You know, you get that feel. I feel that the Taiwan Gold, it's got many names, so you'll have to research it, is a good one for Melbourne because it's grown 10 inches or 12 inches in the last month, the month of December. And it didn't get a shade cloth. I didn't cover this. I didn't protect it from the heat wave. No protection. But remember, after 3 p.m., it's got this Tangelo shading it. That's why I put this loquat here. People told me, what do you want another loquat tree? Aren't those enough up there? Guys, the reason I put the loquat tree there was to protect him, and him. That's why. It's not because I needed more loquats. And by the way, I've already trimmed this guy. He's had a lot of pruning by hand. All the cuttings are in there. I just went around and removed all these new side branches that are coming up. Right? Look, doesn't matter if it's ugly. Guys, we're dealing with a beast. I keep saying it. Doesn't matter. Trust me. This is a seedling, not a nursery bought grafted tree, which are more fussy. Yeah, this is grown from seed, from my own tree up there. So it can take anything. Heat waves and what do you call it? Mishandling. Abuse is the word. You can take abuse. Look, I cut him here, right? A clean cut, not by hand. And I did a few more cuts around the other side. One of 3 Kohala Longans. They did well over the heat wave. A little superficial burn. Just a little. This is, believe it or not, this avocado that's in the pot was growing where I have the American pawpaw now. But it died on me. It died from root rot. It's the Pinkerton. The Pinkerton avocado. And over December, it grew back in this pot full of weeds, full of native soil. This is native soil. It's not even proper soil to grow avocado in. It's native soil. Hang on. It's good soil. But there's no potting mix. There's no potting mix in here. It's just dirt from the ground here. And it's looking happy. It got a little burnt from the heat wave. Just a little. Just not much. Just, again, superficial. Superficial burns, right? So I didn't cover it. I left the Longan and the loquat and Tangelo to do all the shading. But I just wanted to show you that it's coming back from, I don't know where the graft is. I'm guessing the graft is here or here. So I don't know if it's coming back from the rootstock or above the rootstock on the graft. Well, hang on. Yeah. And then you've got this one around here. It looks like they're all coming up. That one got cinched. Yeah, that one got cinched. On that side. See the other side? Towards the sun? I don't know if that's above the graft or below the graft on the Pinkerton, because I don't want another rootstock. I've got enough rootstock avocados. All right. Again, this is just an experiment, nothing to care about. The Chompu Longan should have been covered, but I didn't, and it's paid the price. It pays the price every year. I think last summer I covered it with a shade cloth. Yeah, I did. But this year I didn't, and you can see the effects of not doing the right thing on the Chompu. Oh well, guys. Citrus does not need any protection once established. Once established is the key word, right? The star fruit, carambola, we're still waking up. It doesn't get its new suit or new costume until the end of summer. So by the end of February, it's coated with a new coat, a new skin. So we're going to go through the same thing we've been going through for 12 years, seeing if it flowers and fruits. And some people, oops, I accidentally removed that. Some people say, oh, why don't you just remove it and put something else there? That's what you said about the Suriname cherry. And did you see how the Suriname cherry fruited after 12 years? Well, I'm going to have the same patience with this. Yeah, guys, it has to fruit. Nature, the law of nature is demanding that it fruits. Demanding. There's no way out. Yeah, it has to fruit. It could take 25 years. Let's see how far it can push my patience. This is the Thai Night starfruit tree. Another Kohala Longan, that definitely got scorched on the tips. But then you have new growth, completely unaffected. And flowers. Yeah, and new growth down here. So that's last year's growth. The old leaves. The old leaves can't take it, but the new leaves can. Yeah, so the old leaves are going to drop anyway. All right, so they're the two Longans. The curry. The curry seem to enjoy the heat wave with all its new flowers or flowers, right? So I'm pretty happy with this. Only in the ground for 1 year. 1 year in the ground from the pot. So yeah, let's go. Let's go. Yep. It's the end of the day, so a lot of the trees are shaded. Oh, the seedling pawpaw was not affected by the 43-degree heat, which surprised me. I thought it would have been toast, but somehow these little loquat seedlings protected it. They did their job, even though it wasn't full coverage. They did the trick, guys. They did the trick. And the pawpaw only got that. That's the only damage. Come on. Nothing. Yeah. So that's pretty good. That one there I had to shade. The main problem is the bugs. The earwigs. Thanks for your advice, by the way, on the earwig solution, but I haven't put it into play. I'm just letting it do its thing naturally. Yeah, so we're getting the figs here on the sandpaper fig. Waiting for these. Right. Waiting on those. Yep, okay, let's move. Oh, and also we have the other jujube. This one is always sulked, and I don't know why. In 4 years, over 4 years, it's just been a sook. This is the Sherwood, but it looks like it might give us its first fruit this year, in year 4, year 5 that is, for its full full term. Yeah, okay, we'll see. It's still flowering. There's no fruit set. Grimmel doing great in the shade. No, wasn't affected. Subel was, of course, was not affected. White sapote is not affected, guys, by heat waves. Just superficial burns on tips, like right there. Nothing. In other words, nothing. Persimmon is not affected. The whatchamacallit, grafted wampy, unaffected. This mulberry is in a pot, that's why it's yellow. It's screaming to go in the ground, and I'm teasing it, and I'm saying no. You're not going in the ground. You're just gonna have to just suffer. All right, so the pitanga tuba is flowering. It's been flowering for a couple of weeks. There was a lot more flowers yesterday. Looks like they've all gone to fruit set land, or yeah, next stage. So yeah, as you can see, all the cuttings from the Subel. When I hand prune the Subel above me, hang on, above me, that tree up there. When I hand prune that tree up there by hand, click, 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 they go to the pitanga tuba, guys. That's how we do it. And this is mostly shaded for these two pitanga tubas, mostly shaded. The green sapote gets morning sun till about 2 p.m. through there. That's the native Australian tamarin up there at, oh gee, probably 8 meters. So this gets some sun damage from heat waves in the late afternoon, between 3 and, sorry, not 3, not late afternoon, I meant early afternoon damage. But it's doing okay. It's doing okay-ish. It does have this. I don't know if that's sun damage or old leaves from last year, but it's pushing a lot of new growth on every tip. This tip here isn't fully opened. So it's a waiting game. Green sapote is a waiting game, just like star fruit in Melbourne. Only in Melbourne, not in the true tropics. In the true tropics, you don't have to wait for star fruit. Here we have to wait, as you've seen, 12 years. Now on this dragon fruit cluster, we got our first flower on the day of the heat wave, during that 43-degree day. I want to show you the flower, the only flower, the very first flower, which is an indicator that there's a lot more to come. Let's see, where is it? Another wampy seedling here. Right, this is doing great. Again, novelty. I've got about 4 of these seedlings. Just as fillers, guys, to fill the gaps. Plus, I like the taste. I don't mind it. It's not that bad. People bag it. I think it's decent. The other wax jambu is in full flush, and also was affected by the heat a little, not much. They're the old leaves that got cold damage in spring. Remember spring when it was cold? We had 3 months of cold in spring. So after 3 months of cold, in September, October, November, it bounced back. It bounced back with all the heat in December. And now in January, look. It completely went through or passed that cold spell in spring and the heat wave. It managed to get through both. So yeah, wax jambu is a tough cookie. He's a tough cookie. Don't be afraid to try it in Melbourne. Also known as wax apple, and I believe, what's the other name? Wax apple, yeah, wax apple and wax jambu. There's other names too, but I can't remember. Not much on the cherry of the Rio Grande yet, still waiting. I gave it a flooding. I flooded it the day after the heat wave. Okay. And I want to show you the first flower on the dragon fruit. Here it is. That's it. Fantastic. So we're waiting now to see the rest come. Okay, I've got another interruption. Okay, this Jabbo's not doing much right now. The Sabara, the as we said, the Jamun is not affected by heat waves at all, not even superficially. Amazing. Now this is the problem tree, guys. The Has. I hope it perks up. It's limping a lot, more than I've ever seen it. And I try to water it. I watered it really strongly, really heavily. A few days before the heat wave, during the heat wave, and not after the heat wave. So I gave it 3 deep soakings within 5 days. But the thing is, I've only soaked it once before January. So when you dig into it, here we are, have a look. Oops. And when we stick our finger here on the side, hang on. Oh, I've got my weak finger. Okay. Yeah. I still got that prick in my butt. I can't believe it. That's the soil outside the ring out there. So I'm just crossing my fingers that I didn't overdo it with the water. Remember, this is a 15-year-old tree. 15. Right? Very hard to breathe for the roots when the soil is mud like this. It's not wet though. It's not wet. It's just moist. So that's the good thing. Hang on, let me zoom in. Yeah. So I don't know. It's like a hang on. It's like concrete. Concrete, but that doesn't mean anything with these guys. This is one of the worst ever trees nature designed when it comes to wet feet. And by the way, in case you're new, the property is slanting, going down to the back fence down there. So this spot here where the tree is, it's slanting like that. But here, there's a groove. There's a slight groove in here where the water pools. It's a groove from there, from here to the tree. There's a groove here. So when we get a downpour of like 40 millimeters of rain, the water pools here for a few minutes. It eventually drains away within a minute or two. I'm just saying, just to give you a good picture. There it's raised, and here it's raised, but here in the center, in the middle, where the tree is, it is a groove. I was thinking of filling this in with dirt or something, so that the water will rush past the tree instead of pooling here and then slowly going through the roots. I don't know. Yeah, so I'll give you another look at the leaves. I'm always pulling the weeds out here. Maybe the weeds are a good thing. They take up the moisture, right? Weeds take up the moisture, which would otherwise go to the tree. So maybe I shouldn't pull the weeds out. I don't know. We still have a lot of avocados left from 2025. The usual dieback on avocado and black sapote and Rollinia. This is typical in some trees. Nothing to worry about. Unless it gets real bad. There's one that's ready. And there's some more dieback next to it. Right? Let's get back. Yeah, so the leaves should be like green. These are the new leaves, by the way, that I'm saying are sulking. There's the new fruitlets. These new leaves are sulking. They're the old leaves which are falling off. Hang on. Right? They're falling off. And they're falling off. And that one's going to fall off. So the new leaves, and there's another one that's going to fall off. So the new leaves here, these ones, are a little pale and very sulky. That's what is concerning me. Yeah, so it's a waiting game. I'm not going to water it anymore and see if it perks up. Yeah, the Hass. Avocado. What else? Looking for changes. Nothing yet on that dragon fruit. That got its first fruit last year in 25. That was so exciting. I got to pick the mandarins off this Mercot. They're all ready to roll. They're falling on the ground and someone's eating them as usual. I'm going to put a net on that Pakistan mulberry as soon as I see the first fruitlets coming, because we've never had any. The birds get them all. What a pain. We still have ice cream beans available if you're interested, guys. Hook up with my email. It's on my page description or page profile. The Bosworth lychee is dropping the fruitlets, which was sad to see. It's sort of falling off instead of forming fruit. But who knows, we might get a couple. I don't know. Last year we got 3 or 4 or 5, I don't remember. Again, I'm not too fussed. You can only do the best you can do. I watered this too. What else? Another Wampy. Look how the Wampies are shooting out. See the difference? See how the Wampy is happy with no attention? This is left all to its own. It gets very little water from me. Maybe once every 2 weeks I water it. The Chinese what you might call it? The Chinese not tamarind. Come on, man! I gotta get moving. Kim's calling me. We need to go somewhere. The cinnamon tree, the cassia. Yeah, she's waiting at the door. So that's doing okay. Although it's lanky, it's what do you call it? Its leaves are drooping like the Hass avocado. Yeah, guys. The gyro persimmon, that's going to need a net soon. Very hard to contain or control or save. Hang on. Save from the parrots. I see Pepino down there has been hollowed out. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, guys. A lot of work. What else? Oh, I thinned out the pomelo a couple of days ago. I removed at least 50 pomelos from the tree to thin it out, right? And look how many are left after I took over 50. I took over 50 off the tree. Wow, there's still like over 100. I might have to do some more thinning out. Yeah, there you go, off you go, join your buddies. Yeah, you gotta thin it out to 2 or 3 fruits. See, that one's got 4. That's too many. So let's see, 1 2 3 4, 1 2. They eventually fall on their own. It thins itself out, but I try to give it some help. Okay, we still have 2 cherry moya left. The oranges are dropping, so we've been juicing. We started juicing these at the beginning of January. There's like, I don't know, 150, 100. There's a lot, guys, there's a lot. All right, let's get moving. The Fuerte avocado got torched on the ends here, on the edge. But again, it's all superficial. 43 Celsius. The rest of the tree is fine, right? Superficial doesn't matter, guys. That doesn't matter. See that? It doesn't matter. Look, The rest of the tree is fan-bloody-tastic. It's looking a lot better than the Hass. Now the Hass, this is the color I was talking about. The Hass should have this kind of green, but it doesn't. See how vibrant this green is? And these are all brand new leaves. All the old leaves have fallen. These are the old leaves from last year. They're gone. Here's another one. Right? That's the old leaf. They're gone. So almost every leaf here is 2026. Why, look how it got scorched at the top. Oh boy. Superficially. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Citrus, the grapefruit tree. Champion, the lime tree, champion. Yeah, so the cherry moya, totally unaffected by 45 Celsius. Custard apple, cherry moya are not affected. This is affected though. The Monstera deliciosa has to be in shade. And it is in shade. It is in shade. Totally unaffected. Here we got a little affected, right? A little sun. I removed a lot of them, a lot of the leaves, because they were in my way as I was walking through here. And I fed the leaves there to the bananas and to the fuerte avocado. We're getting a few fuerte in 26, which is great to see. Look how big they are already. The new fruit. Right? Yeah. So there's about, my guess is about 40 fruit, roughly, without counting, just visually. The Tahiti black sapote is doing absolutely marvelous. Hang on. Okay, I had to cough. It's starting to set fruitlets. Hang on. Fruitlets from those flower buds. Look. Remember I told you there's over 100 flower buds? Well, that's one of the first ones to turn to a fruit. So it looks like we have an excellent chance. There's another one. An excellent chance of getting fruit. The first fruit on this 7-year-old black sapote, grafted. Yeah, guys, grafted. There's a lot going on here. A lot going on. This Tahiti black sapote from Dailies. This is also from Dailies. It's doing a lot better than the Oriana. This is the red hybrid grafted Jaboticaba. Right? I believe it says, does it say G or C? Hang on. G. Alright, so it's grafted. I think I paid $100 for this. It's doing okay-ish. It's doing okay-ish. This gets about 6 hours of direct sun in the morning till about 1 in the afternoon. Yeah, I just planted it a month ago. It's only been here a month. Yeah, guys, this is like a baby between the black sapote and the avocado and bananas. Okay, this is the Keat mango, which is the worst of all the mangoes I have as far as sulking. It's been in the ground for a year and 1 month. It was planted in November 2024. It was frost protected all winter in 2025. And it's been sulking its whole life. But we see some new growth coming here, which gives me hope. Jeez, what a sulker, what a baby. I protected this too over the heat wave with a shade cloth. I took it off yesterday. Right? Maybe I should protect him like I did the Florigon. Put the shade cloth back on him. Everything's ready to go. Ready to go, guys. With very little notice. Check out the white shatut. That white shatut mulberry has only been in the ground 3 years. It's already, oh my God, it's almost 4 meters tall, 3.5 meters. I've got to prune this lemon tree, this 30-year-old lemon tree. It's gone wild. Yeah, it's gone wild. It's got a lot of new lemons for 2026. So I have to be very careful how I prune it. Very hard to see. The green jabuticaba, not the green one, the yellow one, hung in there during the heat wave. Hung in there, right, with its new growth. They did not get toasted or burnt for the first time in 4 years, and I think it has something to do with this overhead mulberry, right? Yeah. So 4 years old, guys, and it's only up to my knee. Up to my knee. Yeah. Starfruit seedling, slowly climbing above this pepino, which is in the way. Jerusalem artichoke. Everyone's doing in their own little world. Day maru. This artichoke. Day maru. Persimmon. Really suffered from the heat wave. It always does. It doesn't like temperatures above 30. It's trying to push out this new growth here, but that also suffered. So it's trying its best. It's trying its best. The Max Gold white sapote really suffered from the heat. It's been in the ground for almost 4 years, but it did nothing. It did not grow at all the first 2 years. Nothing. And now in its 4th year, it started pushing, but it got slammed by this heat wave. Yeah. So I'm going to have to straighten it and do something with the side branch here. It's a bit of a drunk. Looks like a drunk that can't stand up. All right. Yeah, that's the white shatut, man. Look at it. Wow, what a monster. 3 years old, or 3 years in the ground, so all up it's probably 4 years old. The lemons, the second ever plantain banana blossom on the plantain, which I've had here for about 6 years. So that's the second time that's fruited. See how that goes. This is all the sugar cane, which I don't use anymore. I just have it there as a windbreak. The sugar plums, which I should cover now because they're getting soft. This tree has only been in the ground 2 years. It's a dwarf, hang on. Yeah, dwarf sugar plum. What's your name? That's not it. That's not the one label. Wrong label. Dajan. Okay. The Jerusalem artichoke is like the boss here. Huge bananas up there. I don't remember what they are. Probably Rajapuri. We're getting a lot of these. Okay, this is the apricot that I said I saw the first grubs inside the fruit for the season. And it's these what's it called again? Tilton. These Tilton apricots, which fruited for the second time. And yeah, they've gone to town. Everyone's gone to town on them. And they've got grubs or maggots. Yeah, the birds have destroyed most of them. There's only like one left there. And this one here, only 2 out of, there was like 30. They're all gone. Oh, there's another one in there. But that was just a trial. What I'm going to do next year, oh, there's 2 more there, is really trim it low, really low, and net it for 2027. Okay. The, whatchamacallit, the Bernica? Bernica? Are you Bernica? Let's have a look at you. The Bernica grafted black sapote I've had for 4 years, coming up to its 5th year actually, has started to shoot up. First time I've seen that happen. So they're the 2 new leaders. That one there, and this one here. That's great news. Finally pushing growth, but I haven't staked it properly. It has not been staked properly. 5 years, man. It's only a little midget. This one is doing a lot better, but this also needs better staking, right? Everything is just flopping. It's all flopping. Flop, everything is flopping. Yeah, this is the Mar. The Mar is loaded with new growth and new leaves and everything. And I see some flowers there too. Yeah, this is also 5 years. Coming up to 5 years in the ground, man. Forever. Okay, we've got the trombone zucchinis along there doing great. The tree lettuce. The persimmon here, the flat seedless, hanging in. No damage at all from the heat wave. The chompu here has done a lot better than the other chompu. It's getting a lot of new growth, but again, ever so slow. This has been in the ground for 5 years, this longan. 5, man. Seedling cherry moya, I removed all the tips, so there's a chance it might flower and fruit again. I forgot this one. This is how I do it, by the way. Just grab from here and remove that. The Sri Kambangan starfruit has got another month before it's fully coated with a new coat. Looking good. It's coming back. The yam is crawling everywhere. Right. Green sapote. Let's have a look at that. Let's see if I can get across here. What's this? This is a pumpkin. Okay, we've got 2 pumpkins. We've got another one in there. Oh, sorry, 3. Another one in there. Ground pumpkins. They're going to join up with the zucchinis and the choco. Choco has recovered from the brutal shock it got from the heat wave. Another jabuticaba here. That's, I think, another giant. Hang on. Sorry, red hybrid. Red hybrid cutting. This is doing really good, especially after I gave it a bag of, half a bag of mulch. I'm going to get some more mulch for it. Makes a difference. Because I like water to be retained. I don't like drying out. Yeah, even though the soil in this whole area is really wet, guys. Hang on, I'll show you. Hang on. Okay, here it's dry. The only place that's dry is where I dug. Yeah, that's dry, but usually if you dig with a shovel, it's pretty wet all over the place here. It's a wet area. Oh, the green sapote flowers have opened. Right, so we'll see what happens. Again, one of those slow coaches. Very slow, and very slow, and very slow. It's a waiting game, guys. I've had this tree for 6 years and it's never fruited. Hang on. Yeah, 6 years. All right, what is it? It's a seedling. It's a seedling. Oh. I like how the trunk is getting nice and thick. All right, this could also do with some mulch. Wood chips. It's only got chop and drop around it. Sugarcane mainly from there. So a nice bag of wood chips would really be appreciated. Okay, more of that yam. Right, growing on its own, just spreading everywhere. Got to watch where I step. I think we're done. The Grand Nain banana, this one needs to be removed because it already fruited, but I didn't get rid of it. It's getting a lot of new pups. Grand Nain, the Chiquita banana. We've got a bunch there, and we've got a bunch here, and we've got a new banana opening up there. See the stalk? That one. So that's 3 in this area, and we have one here, that's 4. Right, and the plantain, where's the plantain? There you are, over there. That's five banana bunches. 5, guys. We've got 5. And then down at the fence down there's one more. Sorry, 2 more. That's 7. Okay, let's get through the pomegranate here, which I keep tip pruning because I can't get through here, guys. I can't get through here because it's in between. We've got the macadamia, the dwarf. Hang on. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. We've got the macadamia dwarf and this parfianca. So I've got a what do you call it? Duck. Hang on, let me show you. I've got a duck between them. See that? To get through here, I'm ducking. Okay, this is the other sapote that I'm not happy with. Not happy at all. Not happy whatsoever. He's not doing good at all, guys. So I might lose him. The prolific. Everything looks good except the leaves. And I've had him for 5 years, just like the other one in the front. Not good. So crossing my fingers, he does something. I gave him a whole bag of mulch a month ago. Wood chips, that is. The Rollinia is setting hundreds of flowers. No fruitlets that I've seen yet, but I haven't had a really close look, like detailed look. There might be a surprise. I doubt it. It usually doesn't do anything till February. February is when it usually sets fruit, going from past experience. Yeah, all I see is flowers. So there's some dieback. That's the only dieback that I didn't remove. Just saw it now. Okay, so there's last year's only fruit that we ever had. That fell in winter. Yeah. And there's that other banana blossom that's coming. Right, guys, we've got a lot of bananas and a lot of zucchinis coming too. Trombone. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about the Rollinia. We have a lot of Rollinia. Dream on, baby, dream on. But we're not going to move to Queensland, guys. Just for that. We're not doing that. We're getting a cyclone there this week. So praying that it doesn't affect anyone. And there's that 7th bunch of bananas. And the 8th up there. Yeah, for real. Bananas everywhere. Okay. I think we're done. I think we are done. Yep, we are. Oh, I had my first tomato today. I can't show you because I ate it. Yeah, so the banana... did I say banana? I meant tomato. The first tomatoes are finally turned red. January 11. The Rocoto chili, this one gets stung by the fruit fly. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. It's still green, so it hasn't reached ripeness. Not even close. Not even close. Yeah, we're getting hundreds of tomatoes. Hundreds. That is if the fruit fly doesn't get them first. All right. Oh, and apples. A lot of apples that are fully ready. These are all ready to go. There's a cluster of 3 there. One there. One here. There's about 20 apples. We've already eaten about 20. So altogether we've got about 40 from this 4-year-old multi-grafted apple tree from the Fruit Salad Company. Thanks for watching, guys. Oops, we didn't do this orange sherbet. Look how great it's done, even though it had anthracnose when it arrived from Heidi. And she sent me another one. Really, it was really bad. I had to chop off this much of the tree, like down here. Cut it right there. And look at the recovery. It still has this leaf here with signs of... Yeah, it was like this. See this one? It was like that. The whole top of the tree was like that. And now it's fine, except for this leaf here. See ya? So, and maybe this leaf too. You can go too, buddy. You don't look very pretty. You look a little nasty. I think they were the last signs of the tree when I got it looking sickly. But it's got this new branch there. It's got a new branch there. It's got a new branch there, and this head at the top. So yeah, I'm pretty wrapped with the first orange sherbet recovery. You always got to move the mulch away from the trunk. The damn birds keep pushing it back. Every day they do that, every day. There you go. Okay, another star fruit, the Kerry. Also getting its coat. Not quite there yet, another month. Then we'll be waiting for the flowers in February. Oh, we also have the avocados, the mangoes on the side. This tree needs to be covered soon. Yeah, this is the Thai mango, King Thai, Maha Chinook, that has this whole new branch here, and this new growth that's coming here. But this also perplexes me as far as watering. Again, remember, sloping land going down, sloping. So if I overwater it, it always runs out, always runs out. It always runs off. And there's a circle here, right? In this circle where the tree is, it's really muddy. Hang on. So when I see it like that, I back off. Because I know that mangoes have to dry first. The soil has to dry first before you re-water it. But guys, there's a big but here. The but is that it's been hot every day. Hot, I mean really hot. Really hot means the soil dries out. That's what really hot means. I'm not talking 20, 21, 25. I'm talking 35 to 45. Super hot. So that's why I'm thinking, why should it be a problem to overwater a mango during extreme heat? If the drainage is working perfectly, if it's got perfect drainage, why should overwatering him be a problem? So I'm stuck. I'm stuck in between the two schools of thinking. Like when you overwater a guava, and it's the same like muddy. Hang on. Exactly the same. Actually, worse. This is worse. Look. Right? Really mud. There's never any sign. Well, these are old leaves. That's why they're like that. Don't think about that. But there's never any signs on the new leaves, the perky leaves, the happy leaves, of any problem with that muddy soil. Right? We're talking these new leaves. We're not talking about last year's leaves. These are going to fall. They don't count in the little test. These guys. These are falling off. They're getting replaced. So I can't understand why it's okay for guava to sit in mud during summer, but not mangoes. See, this one is sulking too. This is the Palmer. Again, to me it looks like it's overwatered, and I'm not sure if that's true. And this is a classic case of water runoff, because it's a mound. This one is mounded more than all the other mangoes. I actually put a mound on top of the slanting ground. And when you check in here, because I can only put like 1 gallon of water in here, 4 liters, before it just runs away. 4 liters, that's nothing. So watch, if I do, and it's got mulch, if I do the little finger test, look, very muddy and wet and soaking. Hang on. Let's get closer. Right? And I'm thinking, when shall I water this guy again? When the soil around its roots are so moist. Did you notice there was no actual liquid pouring out of the soil? like when I squeeze it, hang on, let me do it again. Wow, it's really sticky. So when it's really, really overwatered and you do that, you get water. But there's no water coming. It's pretty much dry mud, if you know what I mean. Like clay. Yeah, clay is a good way of putting it. It's clay-ish, not juicy. It's not juicy. So I'm thinking, if that's okay, for the mango to grow in that kind of soil, and whether I should keep watering or back off all the way till it's fully dry. Yeah, that's the question that I keep asking myself. And the worst case is the Nam Doc May. Look, the Nam Doc May, very sulky, very sulky, very sulky. Green, but sulky. Very green, lush green. Very healthy green, but what's going on? Just like the Florigon, just like the Keat, it's not happy. But look, at the same time it's pushing a new flower panicle. After I removed this flower panicle last week, 2 weeks ago, I got rid of this one and now it's pushing another one. That's a sign that the tree is still getting all its minerals and whatever else it needs, getting up and down the trunk. There's still movement in the tree. It's not like stalled or thwarted. Yeah, so now we're waiting to see any new action to come. I'm going to back off from this too. The same situation with the dirt. Hang on. The same situation, guys. There you go. Oh, this one is pretty wet too. Look. Yeah. Okay, there's a piece of wood in the middle. That was wood. That's wood. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Don't know. This is a new mango that I planted in at the end of November. This got sun damage because I didn't put a shade cloth on it until it was almost too late. This is what would have happened to the whole tree, to every leaf, if I didn't put that bed sheet on it. Remember the bed sheet? The bed sheet saved the tree from being turning yellow, and we probably would have missed this new growth that came up. This came up during the heat wave, during the 43 Celsius. This flush came at the exact same time, and this damage. Yeah. So if I go in here, it's the same, but there's no. This one is perky. Look how perky the tree is, unlike that one there. That's drooping, and this is perky. Remember, that's been in the ground for 14 months. This has been in the ground only for 5 or 6 weeks. 6 weeks, yeah. Hang on. Yep, same. Actually, no, it's not the same. This is falling apart. And you can see the sand. You can see the sand mix. Yeah, this is like falling to pieces. I put sand in that too when I planted it a year and 2 ago. But that sand is vanished. The sand has vanished. Whereas the sand in this is still fresh and available or present. Yeah. So dilemmas with mangoes. Never have to think about these things with other trees. It's always the bloody mangoes. Yeah. All right. So that's the situation with all the trees at Fruitopia. Here's a bit of dieback on the Hass. The whole garden. Oh, this one is looking good here. That's how it should look. See how these leaves look good on the Hass? It should look like that. So maybe it's recovering from the heat wave and from all the water I gave it, and the whole tree will look like this again. Right? See this how it's drooping here, and that's not. Gives me Gives me what do you call it? Difficulty trying to fall asleep. Yeah, guys, these are like children. These are like children, right? These are like kiddos. These are the newest leaves on this one. Brand new. These are shiny, shiny new. And they look really happy. So, cross your fingers that the Hass perks back up after the 43 to 45 and 46 Celsius heat wave that we had in Victoria in early January 2026. Thanks for liking, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And we'll see you from the next one. Coming up real soon. Yeah, I got to cover the Chico as well. Where are the fruitlets? I think there's fruitlets set on this somewhere. There's thousands of flowers. I'm going to have to cut the head off there so I can get the net on there. I have to trim this dwarf mulberry, which is almost 4 meters tall. Bye, guys.